Yo, Tara, what up, E?
What's going on? Man, those are some nice medals.
Yeah, man, these are hard to come by.
Yeah, well, I've got 2 of them.
Well, that's nothing like going to March Madness, though.
We did go to a national championship.
Okay, guys, whatever. Let's just get on the Montana party bus and head over to Press Box for lunch.
Yeah.
Nuanez Now and Skyline Sports, covering Montana athletics and the Big Sky Conference better than anybody. The Montana Party Bus and the Press Box are also proud supporters of Montana athletes.
Hey, cheers to you guys, man. Cheers to Montana. Cheers to chasing more championships.
There's always a party in Montana, whether you're going to a wedding, a football game, a concert. Montana Party Bus can get you there safe and will take you anywhere in Montana. You can relax with friends in style, luxury, and safety. Western Montana based for local and regional travel within Montana borders. Montana Party Bus is great for both large and small groups with a capacity of up to 30 guests. If you want to elevate your event, call them anytime, 406-200-8096. You can also visit mtpartybus.com. Travel anywhere in Montana in style with the Montana Party Bus. Yo, what's up, everybody? Big Sky Breakdown, SkylineSportsMT.com. Brooks Nuanez, Colter Nuanez, coming to you through the ESPN MT studio here at the Missoula Broadcasting Company. Appreciate you for hanging with us. We're going to talk some cats, going to talk some Griz. But first of all, we got to talk about one of our new sponsors, but this is somebody you've known about for quite some time. Shine Beer Sanctuary in Bozeman, Montana. This is a place that's near and dear to your heart.
No question.
They've done great work. They started this thing, I think, 7 years ago. 2019, I think, is when it started. Correct. And this is part tap house, part bottle shop, part wonderful gathering place for everybody. You can even get some La Pa burritos if you're familiar with La Paria, which has been an institution in Bozeman since long before I ever lived there or Brooks ever lived there. These guys do a bunch of fun stuff. I know you had a big hand in helping these guys sort of get it off the ground, and they've done awesome work there in Bozeman.
Absolutely, man. They've pushed beer and wine culture forward like no one else really has in the state. Amazing selection, constantly rotating beers on tap, 2 outdoor seating areas, one that you can sit in even when it's a little bit chilly out. They have a whole weatherproofed upstairs patio, comfy seats. Choose your own adventure at Shine Beer Sanctuary. You get to walk in and you get to pick. You get to go sit in the back, sit in the front, get to chat with someone who's a server or a bartender, but no one's going to come up and refill your water because you get to walk around and just live in this palace that is, it's all your own each and every time.
If you are into beer, this is the place you need to go, like not even just in Bozeman, but like in all of Montana, man. It's like one of the great tap houses that there is. There's 32 taps. They have beers that I've never found anywhere else, period, like on tap in Montana. And coming up this weekend, I know this is something you've been involved with over the years, the 4th annual Battle of the Beers. This is on Saturday. Cats are out of town, so you need something to do. This is certainly a good one. They'll have 8 breweries, 16 beers, and endless bragging rights. It's an epic showdown that's free to attend, 21 and older, obviously, but you can grab your friends, raise a glass, and help them crown a champion. So this is a fun little exhibition for a lot of the breweries from around the area.
No doubt, man. And you'll get a couple tokens. You get to vote on your favorite beers. At the end of the day, there'll be a best in show. There'll be a couple different awaards as far as unique offerings and categorical offerings and who sold the most beer on tap and things like that. So very, very fun event. They have events going on all the time. So please check in with them regularly because it's a weekly thing down there. Battle of the Beers is definitely one to put on the calendar.
So a couple rivalry games in the Big Sky in the Treasure State last week as Idaho came to play Montana and Eastern Washington came to play Montana State. Griz get a 41-30 win under the lights on national TV. Bobcats beat Eastern Washington like never before, 57-3. The biggest margin of victory, not only over Eastern ever, but I thought this was an interesting stat. Biggest margin of victory over anybody since 2016. The Cats beat some teams up pretty bad, but 54 points is the largest margin for almost a decade. So do you think the fact that I know that the score for the Griz game was a little bit, kind of close, but make no mistake, it was a 3-score game. Idaho just got a touchdown at the end.
Yep, absolutely.
They got the 3 2-point conversions, which I think certainly something that Bobby Houck needs to take a look at. But I just think that I'll just ask you, do you think that the fact that Montana controlled the game from start to finish and had very little trouble with the number 8 team in the country, and that the Cats walloped Eastern Washington, is that another sign of the disparity between the actual contenders in the FCS and everybody else?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think Eastern is obviously down as much as they've really been in the last decade or so.
Ever.
ever, right?
I mean,
I'm
it's
sure
like,
they've
it's
had
like
some
since,
times.
since the Dick Zorn days that they
Right, I mean-
like since Mike Kramer came in the late '90s, and then Paul Wolf through Bo Baldwin, they were great. And this is as down as they've been since they were like in their early years transitioning from D2 to D1.
Absolutely. And so that being said, I mean, I thought the Cats were dominant. Good afternoon of football for them. Offensively, defensively, I thought they looked like an absolute powerhouse. And I do think that there is obviously a massive disparity there. For Montana and Idaho, I thought Idaho had a handful of good players. I thought they had a pretty good plan. A really tough environment. ESPN2, 8:15 kickoff in Washington Grizzly Stadium. The place was bumping, man. I mean, it is ebbed and flowed and evolved throughout the years. And there's always games throughout the year that are really special, especially during the playoffs. I think last year North Dakota State. But it's a tough place to play. But when the environment is how it was on Saturday night,
Right.
you're lucky to not get avalanched. So
Totally.
I do think that Idaho hung in there pretty tough.
Especially when you have you're on your third string running back. You have one of your top DBs go down early. Your best receiver, Tony Harsty, looked like he blew his knee when he got carried off the field. So I mean, now you're down like three of your best players, and you're right. They hung in there. So good job by Idaho, I guess. But
You could lose that game by 30 points
No question.
and not have too much to hang your head about. So to hang in there and only lose by 9, I mean, I thought relatively impressive. I thought there was a talent disparity. I thought that the Griz had a significantly more amount of talent on both sides of the ball. Idaho, 5 guys on this side, 4 or 5 guys on that side. I thought the Griz looked like they were winning, 8 guys on each side that were winning their matchups. So while Montana looked good, and I do think there is a disparity, I think Idaho could figure a couple things out, especially with the quarterback play, to be, hanging in there towards the end of the season.
who's been the most surprising guy on the Cats to you so far? Like, who has exceeded your expectations or been better than you thought they were going to be? Guy or position group.
I mean, we keep going back to it, but I didn't know about Cole Taylor.
I don't think they did either.
Yeah, I didn't like. I asked you the first game. I'm like, who is 34? They're playing Oregon. I'm like, what is? Did I miss something last year? Did this guy played last year and I just didn't know about this? He pops like no one I've seen in a long time. And obviously the secondary, I think the corners are playing out of their minds. I mean, I'm so impressed with the competitiveness and of that entire position group. So those would two. And you're seeing me highlight the defense because I think defensively they're really, really sound. And,
I think they are too.
And solid. So those would be two I would lean on. I mean, on offense, obviously Lampson is new to everybody. I thought that he's really improved game to game. At this point, when I watch him, I'm kind of like, this guy's kind of a big-time player.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure about that after the first 2 weeks. So that being said, I mean, those are kind of low-hanging fruit, but that's just the fact of the matter. I haven't seen him play it live yet, so that's what's popping on TV.
Yeah, I mean, Cole Taylor's the obvious answer. I've been really impressed with their corners, too. I think they got corners that have a bunch of gusto, a bunch of aggressiveness. I think they don't know what they don't know, and I think that helps them a lot. I also think they have no hierarchy in the group, which gives them no ego in the group. Like, they're all young, so they're all kind of going through it together.
Absolutely.
And they have a young coach Trent Green is a great coach, I think, and he's his first time with a full-time D1 gig in his own position group. So I think they're like nurturing each other and like growing together. And here's the thing. I thought Mike Ryder said it well when we were talking to him earlier this week. You can find corners that can run to get them to the FCS level, but they're probably 5'9" or 5'8". Or you can find corners that can tackle at the FCS level, and they're probably like Damian Washington, who, bless his heart, like he's a good player. He can't run even close to like these guys can run now. They're slow. It's so hard to find a guy who's 6 feet, 6'1", long levers, ball skills, runs a sub 11 second 100. Those guys just don't go to the FCS.
They sure don't.
And they got 3 of them.
Yeah.
That's impressive. That's really good recruiting. I don't know if they can hang on to these guys or what, but that's really good recruiting to get they got 4 3-star guys. 3 of them are from Texas. 3 of them were district placers in the 100 meters who also, they're all skinny. Like they all don't weigh
they
anything
are thin,
yet.
Yeah.
But like to be 6 feet tall and run as fast as they run and be able to play corner at a high level, like that is the rarest of commodities that exists in the FCS to me. So it's a great job by those guys getting them. Others that have popped to me, I didn't know Hunter Province was that fast. That was a nice runaway on the inside like tight end arrow route that he ran to score the long touchdown last week. So that's a boost for certainly. Rocky Lencioni, the redshirt freshman tight end out of Bozeman. Yeah, I thought he was just going to be a big slow receiver, But now he's a big, fast tight end, and it's a great move.
Tough.
Like, great job by him to be like, okay, I could toil over here, or I could just go put on 15 pounds, and I could go play. And he's playing a bunch. So I think he's been a pleasant surprise. And then the other guy is Dane Steele, man.
Oh, yeah.
Dane Steele is nice.
He flew up that depth chart pretty quick.
Yeah,
I saw him on the 2. I was like, what is going on here?
I mean, now he's like their third receiver.
Totally.
And, I mean, redshirt freshman, but you always talk about this, guys that show up in the frame.
He's just everywhere.
Some of the sweetest pictures we have so far this year are of him. He's got nice ball skills. He's got a great athlete. How about on the Griz side? Who's impressed you most on the Montana side? Who's been surprising to you?
Well, I mean, I guess surprising would be the key word here, because I'm not surprised by guys like Peyton Wing.
Sure,
and,
right.
And Solo, Solomon.
Tuliapupu.
Tuliapupu.
Yeah.
Tuliapupu.
Tuliapupu.
I'm going to get that
It's
fluently.
not that
It's
hard.
really not that. There's an extra like A in the middle that's kind of hard.
Tulia.
So those guys, I'm not surprised that they're impact players. So I'd probably lean on someone like Hunter Peck. I thought that he's really come into his own. I mean, obviously comes as the Frontier Conference Defensive Player of the Year. I had expectations, but you just never know how a guy like that will translate. He's physically dominant. And I love his attitude. He's kind of got like a WWE attitude, which I just absolutely love from a Montana guy like that. He can hold the edge, play the run. He's getting after the passer now, and just his aggressiveness has been impressive. I think that I knew about Keon Loud, but we'll see about how his injury plays out throughout this season, which is a bummer for them. I thought he's really brought an edge to that secondary that they really need. I mean, the way that they play, they're going to get beat deep at times just because they play so much man free with no over the top help and they are blitzing so much up front. There's going to be shots taken. So that's not how I'm going to judge him and his production, but his ability to play the run aggressively, to be kind of an energy guy while also being like a true number one corner. I've been impressed by him for sure. And then on offense, you got to give it up to Drew Deck. I think Drew Deck's had a great season.
Yep.
Not surprised, always been a fan, always, or someone who I was following closely and knew had it, whether or not he was going to get enough turns to prove it. He's really just worked his butt off and gotten to the point where they can't keep him off the field, which is what you hope for a guy with, he's not the biggest guy out there by any means, but you don't want a guy like him to end up just being a lifelong punt returner. You want to give him some touches, and they've been able to do that. So I've certainly been impressed. And I mean, how can't you say, no matter what he's gone through, no matter what he's done, and no matter what his national image is, that you're not more impressed with Eli Gilman every time you see him play?
No doubt.
So, I mean, how is that possible? Well, clearly it is, because he's doing it week to week. Like I thought that there was really no more ceiling for him when you become one of the 5 best running backs in the country, and now he's exceeding that ceiling game in, game out, which is, of course you hope a guy continues to grow, but the level he's gotten to now is pretty impressive.
Next one.
Hello, my name is Kelly Ayat, quarterback at the University of Montana. In the off-season, it's important to do everything you can to prepare for the season. In high school, that means funding your program. In my experience, Vertical Raise is the ultimate online fundraising platform. Now broaden your reach of your fundraiser and bring in more money than other platforms. And there are no sneaky or hidden fees like other companies. If you're trying to raise money for your program, reach out to Vertical Raise today.
So let's start with, how would you characterize the real estate market currently in both Missoula and Western Montana?
Well, currently in Missoula, we've seen a rise in inventory and buyer activity slow down a little bit. So it's turning more into a buyer's market, more than I've probably ever seen in the last 10 years or so.
So what does that mean, a buyer's market? How would you define that?
A buyer's market is really just means that there's more homes for sale than there are buyer demand. So buyers have choices, especially in negotiations.
And that means less leverage for somebody that's selling their house, more leverage for somebody that's tried to buy a house, correct?
Correct. More leverage for buyers.
Okay, so if you are a buyer and you hire you as your realtor, how do you go about then sort of taking advantage of that said advantage?
Well, right now you have the upper hand in negotiations, right? And first we start with the CMA and get a value and see where that price falls in, or where the value is for the buyers. And And then there's other things that we can negotiate, such as like seller concessions to help buy down the interest rate or give you a temporary break or relief on an interest rate to help with that monthly payment, so to speak.
So if people want to find out about that and other listings that you have, how do they find them?
Best way is just get a hold of me by phone, 406-544-9794.
Thanks to our friends at the Press Box. Monday Night Football, they got a new special, draft beers and hot dogs for $10. You get one draft beer, one hot dog for $10. Pretty good deal. Also, Thursday night prime rib night's back, $35 for a big slice of prime rib. They also have happy hours between 3 and 6 every single weekday, $3 for any draft beer. Press Box, the official headquarters of Griz Athletics. Well, go ahead.
You may be able to add, like you did a little bit with some of the kind of auxiliary players with the Cats, but like someone for the Griz that I've also been really impressed with is Tanner Huff. I think he's a special teams dynamo.
Had him on the show, the ESPN show earlier this week.
Yeah, he's awesome. And he's just like another guy that just keeps popping in the frame. You're just like, man, this guy's everywhere. He's only getting 20 snaps a game at most, mostly on special teams, and he's making an impact. Dominating
on kick teams.
Absolutely.
Dominating. Like, watch the film back. It's so fun to watch. But here's the deal, man. If you're going to be a guy that sticks around for 5 years and you have to switch positions before your senior year and you're basically going in and they brought transfers in ahead of you and you're going to be a depth guy, you're going to play some snaps on defense, you want to make as big an impact as you can, why not just go be an All-American on special teams? If you're the best special teams player for Montana, you're going to be the first-team All-League special teams player in the Big Sky.
He's tracking that right now.
And then you're going to be an All-American. Yep. And that's a pretty cool story from a walk-on from Butte, Montana. So good job by him. Other one is Micah Harper. To me, because Harper, I knew he was going to be like a hammer. He's way different than I thought, though.
Way different than I thought.
He's their fastest DB. He runs the best. I mean, they put him in man coverage last week, and he dominated in man coverage. He had that one play where Idaho was backed up against the south end zone, and they threw the little split screen out to the side, and he closed like a banshee, and he hit the guy and made him drop it. It was almost a fumble, but he like made the receiver panic, and then it became an incompletion. He also, on the other side of the red zone going towards the south end zone, he played straight up on an outside X receiver, man-to-man, and had a pass break.
He did. Yeah.
That's pretty diverse to have your strong safety be able to do that. So
he's almost like a nickel linebacker or something.
Sure.
Like he definitely feels like a safety because of just maybe in like a base 4-3 or something, but he seems like a nickel linebacker to me, that someone that can play in the box and also run with like a slot guy. And like you said, the fact he can play on the outside at all is pretty impressive.
Is Brooks Davis the greatest freshman receiver the Griz have ever had?
Oh, I'm a huge fan. Great name. He's the real deal for sure. Is he the best they've ever had? I would say no. I think that he absolutely could be. But I was around when John Talmadge was playing here.
Yeah, the other candidate, the top candidates are John Talmadge, Samari Toure.
Yep.
I mean, that's probably it.
Yep.
Those are the only two guys that have over 500 yards receiving as a freshman.
Yeah, John Talmadge was day one ready to roll.
Totally different style.
Way different. Yeah.
John Talmadge is an old school possession.
6'4", 6'3", 6'4" guy.
Box you out, slice up your zone.
Not a very fast guy.
Not very fast.
Jump ball guy.
Jump ball guy. Solid as they come.
But he was just so ready to roll.
He was.
Brooks Davis, he's the real deal, man. And it's unique because he, as I always say, Colter, everyone thinks that every receiver is Megatron. It's like, no, they're built like him.
That's right.
They're 5'11", 190 pounds, and they're electric fast. You can't tackle him in a phone booth, and he's got hands. He can jump. He's just silly athletic.
Town Pump's Pump It Up Rewards Plus program and never pay full price for fuel again.
Save 5 cents on every gallon every day at any town pump across Montana.
Plus, earn and redeem points on your favorite in-store items to get free stuff with our clubs.
Stop in and pick up a rewards card. Download the Pump It Up Rewards Plus app today.
Or visit townpump.com/rewards to register and start saving.
Town Pump. Right down the road. Pump it up. Oh, yeah.
Will you marry me in your future? Or maybe you do it all over again. Hi, I'm Brian Toon with Jewelry Design Center, inviting you to come see the largest selection of Will You Marry Me in the state of Montana. The brightest diamonds of every shape and size, unique settings built to last, and skilled jewelers on site offering free sizing and maintenance for life, because that's how long we want to be your jeweler. Jewelry Design Center in Missoula, on Brooks, across from the Montana.
Here's the best compliment I could give Brooks Davis. Most guys look faster in person than they do on TV. You watch him on TV and it looks slower. He looks way faster on TV.
Yeah,
I watched the replay of the Idaho game last night. I was laughing out loud. The very first play where they ran that out and up to him, he's so fast, man. He's like Kyler Murray with his. I'm not saying he's Kyler Murray fast, but like with the legs going faster than you can even see the strides going, because he's sort of like a on his toes runner that leans forward a little bit too. I mean, man, the Griz are lucky to have him, and they're going to be lucky to keep him too.
I hate that that's a thing.
Here's the thing, though, dude. I think it's coming back to the middle.
Yeah, but like you even said it with the cat corners. Like if all three of those corners go, then the next two receivers for Montana go. It's like so frustrating.
Yeah, I think that we're getting some sample sizes, though, man.
That it's not worth going up. That it's not.
I mean,
it's
like
not helping anybody.
Riley Wilson's just chilling, sitting on the bench in Arizona. You know, like he gets some snaps, but he's not the man. Wouldn't it be a lot more fun to get 10 sacks and play for the Griz and make a run at a natty?
I think so.
I mean, right? But
it's all about the money. Would you take, $250K or whatever you get? It's like,
that's the other thing.
What if Brooks Davis gets $500,000?
Well, you go.
You have to.
But I think that there's a lot of horror stories out there of guys that get promised $500,000 and then they don't go anywhere. Like, there's a dude from another Big Sky school that got offered 6 figures to go transfer to a Power 5, and he went there for spring ball, and they cut him. He doesn't have a team. He has no money because there's nothing guaranteed. There's no contracts.
Yeah.
There's nothing. So, I don't know. I'm a little bit up against it because I got to go do a little hit with Jordan Cook from the Idaho State Bengals. But any thoughts? Do you buy or sell the notion that the Griz and Cats are playing in the two weird domes this week, the two weird Big Sky domes? The Kibbe Dome's not weird. I think the Kibbe Dome's like cool, actually. The other two are weird. Is that a trap? Or like, do you buy the notion that like these teams need to like have their head on a swivel because it's so hard to play in Pocatello or it's so hard to play in NAU, or is that just a bunch of...
Why is walk-up weird? It's gorgeous.
I think it's great, too.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I love that place.
I do, too.
I mean, the elevation.
You got the annoying chainsaw guy. But they have real students. They got real fans. They got real cheerleaders. They got real sound system.
Pocatello is like a 1970s vibe, man. Like Pocatello, and they've improved it a lot. I think another cool place. Should they worry, is there something weird about these games? I say yes. I think there is. I think there's definitely something to be said about travel into these kind of unique arenas, playing at elevation or playing against a team that's kind of not had your number, but Idaho State has not been scared of anything that the Griz have put on the field the last 2 years, right? They've been competitive. One score games back
28-20 exact score.
Back to back.
2 years in a row.
And I think that both Montana State should handle business, but do I think that there is something that you should really pay attention to here and not trip up? I do. I absolutely do.
Idaho State's also an interesting matchup because they so much of what Montana does to you defensively is they erase your run and then make you in these passing situations and then rush the passer. But Idaho State doesn't really run it that much.
Just throw the rock.
They throw it and they get it out quick. And so like that's just going to be able to sort of thwart a lot of the advantage that Montana has. Because like their whole deal is overwhelming you in the box. Too many numbers. If you just get the ball out, now you're overwhelming Montana on the perimeter.
Absolutely.
Right?
And probably the best deep ball thrower in the league, right?
Well, and I mean, just the best thrower of the football. He's also erratic and he's throwing a lot of picks, but he's got great arm, and that helps you. I'm so interested because the whole taking the show on the road, it's so hard. There's all these different dynamics. We got to bring our own energy, all this stuff. That was like the narrative for the Cats, no matter who's the coach, no matter where they played, forever. Like they just had a 50-50 shot, no matter how good the teams were, of losing at Northern Arizona or Eastern Washington or Weber State year after year after year. Until what? Brett Vigen be head coach.
Yeah.
But they almost lost last time they were in Flagstaff. That was 2022 though. That's multiple years in the rear view. So I just wonder, has Vigen squashed that notion or not? I'm not sure, but I think it's a big prove-it game for the Cats in that element on Saturday.
100% agree.
Big Sky Breakdown, SkylineSportsMT.com. Brooks Nuanez, Colter Nuanez. Thanks so much for joining us.